Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today. And today, the Houston Texans play the Los Angeles Rams. Well, technically today, it is 12:57 as I am making this video. So, I guess it is technically today that the Houston Texans play the Los Angeles Rams. Now, let's go over this game. Texans play at 3:25 against the Los Angeles Rams. This game's going to be on CBS. Look, I'm going to be completely honest. I literally just learned this about 4 hours ago. I 100% thought this game was on CBS, but I am really excited to learn that Kevin Harlan will be calling this game. I love that for the Texans. I thought one of the best games of C.J. Stroud's career one of the best games of his career, but one of the best games of his rookie season was called by Kevin Harlan, that game against the Bengals in Cincinnati when the Texans won off a game-winning field goal. That was a great win for the Texans, and so. Kevin Harlan is a really good announcer, and he will be, part of the announcing crew tomorrow on CBS for this Texans-Rams game. All right, but tough news we got to go over. Christian Kirk and Braxton Berrios are out at wide receiver, which means that is an expanded role for rookies like Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins. That definitely means that you're putting the spotlight on the road in your first game as rookies. I liked what I saw from both rookies, Higgins and Noel, but it definitely is a tough position that both of those guys are going to be in tomorrow. It'd be great to see, a vet like Justin Watson and a more experienced guy compared to the rookies in Noel and Higgins, like Xavier Hutchinson, step up. Hutchinson and Watson stepping up tomorrow for the Texans would be great. And here's another thing I will say: a guy that I am looking at tomorrow for the Houston Texans is Dalton Schultz. The one thing I keep reminding myself is Nick Caley, the new Texans offensive coordinator. He's a tight ends coach. He likes his tight ends. Now, Dalton Schultz and Cade Stover are two guys with no Christian Kirk and no Braxton Berrios. Those guys, I definitely wouldn't be shocked if they're getting more targets. I've seen other Texans fans comment on my channel before and see, people online say, I hope Nick Caley is, gonna be I hope Nick Caley is gonna be as good with tight ends as D'Amico Ryans is with linebackers and defensive linemen. And I feel like Nick Caley is going to design a lot of stuff for tight ends because I don't think that's something that we saw Bobby do enough. And, so I'm excited to see that. And Dalton Schultz and Cade Stover are definitely going to have to do more tomorrow with no Christian Kirk and Braxton Berrios. So, but then there's obviously no Joe Mixon. You've got Ed Ingram, who's kind of a projected starter right now, questionable with a abdomen injury. I don't know why I can't say that. But questionable with that. And then you've got injuries that are kind of obvious, like Danico Autry is on the physically unable to perform. So is Joe Mixon. Kurt Hinish is out. Tank Dell's obviously out. Of course, Brevin Jordan's out for the year. Of course, that's really it. We might see some injury, some healthy scratches possibly, but but those won't be announced till tomorrow. So, but right now what we know is no Joe Mixon, no Christian Kirk, no Braxton Berrios, of course. So those are the big three that we know right now, and we know that Ed Ingram is questionable, and there's no Danico Autry. So Texans are definitely shorthanded going to Los Angeles. So I would lean towards saying I think this could be an L for the Houston Texans. But with that defense, it's the offense that's hurt in this one. With that defense, I believe in this Texans team always just because of that defense that the Texans have. And look, even though they're short on a lot of guys offensively, there are enough guys for the Texans to put up points on the board. I would say all you need, and it's crazy to say this when the Texans are playing the Rams, is you could put up a 20-point game. Texans could score 20 points, and it's well enough to win the football game because of the fact that this Texans defense is that good. And you've got playmakers. You've got Nico Collins, who's spectacular, but you've got other guys like Dalton Schultz and Cade Stover at the tight end position. You've got Nick Chubb and Damian Pierce at running back, and you've got veteran wide receiver like Justin Watson and the rookies who are really good playmakers like Jalen Nolan and Jaden Higgins, and you've got Xavier Hutchinson. There is talent. There could be more talent out there offensively with Kirk and Mixon, but there's not. And I think the Texans can definitely win this football game with the guys they have, but I think it's going to be hard, but I'm always going to be rooting for the Texans. You guys let me know your thoughts on the Houston Texans Los Angeles Rams Week 1 game tomorrow. That's the video. If you guys enjoyed it, and peace out. Go Texans.